I think Iowa is very, very well positioned both in livestock and in value-added soy products to prosper well into the next decade.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the State of Soy. I'm Aaron Putsey. I'm visiting with Peter Mischik with Mischik & Associates. Peter, you've been involved, very active in the demand side of the industry for soy. Talk a little bit about right now just the state of international marketing as it relates to soybeans.
Luckily, our exports last year in 2021 were excellent. They look like they're going to be really good again this year. I think one of the things that's going to hamper our exports a little bit this year is perhaps some of the availability of dollars for inputs and for exports. In other words, a country in Southeast Asia now has to pay the same types of prices for fertilizers and for energy that we have to pay here. And in addition, they have to buy our food. Supply chain disruptions have caused increases in freight. So not only are the commodities more expensive, but the cost of getting it there is also more expensive.
I know a project that you've been steeply involved in has been the evolution of being able to export soy, primarily soybean meal, out of the Pacific Northwest, more specifically through Grays Harbor. Talk about that export terminal and the game changer it's been for the Iowa and Midwest soybean farmer.
Well, it's been a tremendous game changer. 20 years ago, we probably shipped the equivalent of 1 or 2 vessels a year off the West Coast, and usually in conjunction with some wheat products or corn or some other kind of mixed vessel. Over the years, we've been able to develop a very good rapport with our customers in Southeast Asia. It's a direct hit. It's also made states like Iowa, Nebraska, North and South Dakota, the west coast of the U.S. crop. And so it's the shortest distance to China for soybeans, and it's the shortest distance to Southeast Asia for meal. And both of those areas of the world have grown dramatically in terms of standard of living, in terms of income, while they represent 800 million people in the Southeast Asian countries. So it's huge.
In thinking about destinations for Iowa soybeans, what countries hold the greatest potential moving forward, say the next 3 to 5 years?
I don't see a lot of additional potential for Iowa soybeans. I do see a tremendous potential for Iowa soybean meal and for chicken and for pork. The thing that's so wonderful about Iowa is that they have the most developed agricultural economy. They're able to add value. They're the #1 crushing state now in the United States. There'll be some export, to be sure, down the river, but now that they're building plants along the river to the south of Iowa, oil is becoming too valuable for the whole bean to leave the U.S. So I think Iowa is very, very well positioned in both in livestock and in value-added soy products to prosper well into the next decade. I think it's a mistake to say, well, we're not selling as many whole beans, because the reality is there's only a couple countries left that buy a lot of soybeans. Our closest ones and the most important ones Iowa can reach: Mexico and Japan. And if they want to go to China, they can do that either from the Gulf out of Iowa, or they can do it from the PNW from western Iowa. So I just don't see a lot of extra growth in whole soybeans.
So really the focus is going to become more on adding value to that soybean here locally. And as we like to say, our customers are real pigs and we mean it, right, Peter?
Exactly.
So the future looks bright for soy in a host of areas. Reporting for the Iowa Soybean Association in the State of Soy, I'm Aaron Putsey.
Everything starts with the land. We really respect farmers.
There's nothing that we cannot help a client with. The brokerage, the management, the appraisal, and the investment are 4 pillars that really go so well together.
We work with a lot of really great people working incredibly hard to provide for their families, their community, and the country.